Signaled for and taken successfully. First carry for James Conner. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
2nd and 9 now. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Man open, it's Cup. He's got it. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 40. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
They'll set up to throw. And he finds Howard complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer 1st down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opened things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. On 2nd down now, it's Smith. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards is the pickup, good for a 1st down for the Falcons.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. They were looking for Johnson that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now Ito Smith. There he goes inside the 30. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. A first down there on a pickup of 25. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complementary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. Caught by Jones. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. Smith trying to run for it. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Another try for Smith. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. 4th down, and out comes the Falcon kicker, Giorgio Tavecchio. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Tavecchio puts this one through. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Kill. Delta. Yep. I got motion man. Me. I got this. What happened?
They start with a give to counter. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, if it's bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 3rd down, it's counter. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
To throw on second down. King. Jones has it. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Back to throw. King. Being chased out left. Complete to Jones. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnover. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll set up a throw. That'll be caught by Cup. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 7 yards there and a first down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
Back to throw here. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Smith running right. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Vita Vea.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They are still in search of their first points in the ball game, but only down 6-0 as they begin with a first down. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. King. This one caught by Ridley. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The end result, 21 yards. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Buccaneers' 15-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Levante David. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. He'll look to throw. It's caught by Mike Evans. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. They'll get this one to Cup, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turned that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. King to throw again. He completes it to Jones. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. This is Smith. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Quit talking about it.
They keep it with Smith on first down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
After the penalty, it's Smith. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up second down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
Well, enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
To throw is King. Throwing on 3rd and long. He gets this one to Johnson. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. Try to punch it in with Smith. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ito Smith, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons push further out in front. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through. That's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times. that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 2nd and 3. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Grady Jarrett, his 2nd sack of the night.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They begin with a run by Smith. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They go back to the ground with Smith. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
It's caught. Jones. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now with Smith. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. Again, it's Smith. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
King now on 3rd down. Complete. Smith has it. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Now King throwing on 4th down. And that is incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And the Buccaneers defense holds and they get the football back. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
Check 3, squeeze, get in there. Hard. Tighten up.
They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. They have 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Bucks on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run it again with Smith. And a nice run. They're going to take this close to the first down marker at the Bucks 25. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Smith. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
On first down, Freeman. And his first carry, he loses the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. On first and 10 is Connor. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
On 3rd down, Connor. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. A first down carry for Smith. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Falcons. Ito Smith with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Buccaneers have it.
Well, that two-point attempt failed due to the fumble, but people can't see this, but you got a ball in your hands now, and you got the thing locked in pretty well. You got it covered up.
I love having a football in the booth. I always hang on to it. Makes me feel like I actually played back in my day.
Well, you probably could have. If you had run that play, you would not have fumbled, I can tell you that.
Maybe.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Check Mike 45. Check Mike 45.
2nd and 9 now. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 25. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons push further out in front.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Exit.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just